Perfect, man. All right, man. So yeah, man, welcome back, man. You're back in a new studio. We're getting right into it and everything. But hey guys out there, this is going to be Alan Newsome joining me today via the Skype. As you kind of can see, this is kind of going to be the normal thing. Nothing against the people that are here in Massawa, but the bulk of the people, the good guys I know, are outside of Japan and like really utilizing this technology. Everything is clear. It's not like we're back in like the 90s where it's like all pixelated and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm glad to have Alan back in here to talk about things, man. First of all, Alan, man, right away, I just let the people know where they can reach you at, your social media, your business stuff and everything that way, because we get the people in the first 10 minutes. Then they go and watch cat videos, man. So go ahead.
Yeah, man. Alan Newsome is my name. You can reach me at bridgemoto.com or tougetechniques.com. Far as Instagram, that's at Bridgemoto or at Touge Techniques. And if you want to get real personal, Facebook is Alan Newsome.
Mm-hmm. But not for business, though. Not for business.
Yeah, not for business. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with what I call the DJ remix and say, email, baby.
Yeah. And it was bad, man. It's like that. Normal people is good, but it's like your buddies that be like, really, man? Like I got it. I'm like, yeah, dude, because it's because I'm gonna service you the same way I'm gonna service anybody. And when I break it down to people, we talk about it. Like you're kind of like my stress guy. When I don't talk a lot, I don't put all my stuff online, man, guys. But Alan is my guy. Everybody. No matter how hardcore or hard up you are, man, you got to vent to somebody, and like he's my guy, man. We talk about everything because he's going through the same situations, and when you talk to, you gotta, you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of talking like third person, but you gotta be able to, talk to people who know what you're going through. You can't talk to a buddy who's working 9 to 5. They're just not the same thing.
It's just like the military. There's certain things that happen in the military that you're gonna talk with your comrades about that the civilian won't understand, and that's kind of like what we do for a shop and motorsports and things of that nature. So.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So like 2020, man. Like, how's it going so far, man? I mean, outside of the virus stuff, we'll get into that, man. But how's business going? And what's your we talked about it. I just want to know, like, for the people, man. What's your what's Bridgemoto Touge Technique? What's your outlook for this year? What's goals and stuff you want to get accomplished?
Yeah. Just a quick breakdown for the people who don't really understand. You're hearing two different names at once, and they're kind of foreign names if you're not really familiar with what I do or what my wife does, what we do as a team. But Bridgemoto basically is my motorsports safety equipment business, and Touge Techniques is the shop. With that being said, I dissect that into the Bridgemoto. The main thing with Bridgemoto, the cool thing is I'm seeing it mature, just like you're seeing your shop start to mature as well. So the big thing now is to roll out different products that we normally couldn't come to the market with as a new business, but we can now that we have a semi-established name. And so some of those things and focuses are like reclinable seats. We couldn't come with the market day one because we wanted to get our name fixated as a racing company, not just a leisure company. But now we can back down the aggressiveness as far as the track and start getting some of these street customers and dialing some of the things that are multi-use and not just track only. So some of the things we're going to focus on is reclinable seats. We're going to be focused on some different wheel types. Right now we have 2 different models. We want to extend that line. We want to do some crazier colors, just some more creative stuff. We don't want to get too far away from what we normally do, which our specialization is just personalized customization look and design and feel. So that's the focus on Bridgemoto. Touge Techniques wise, my biggest thing is obviously, a year and a half ago, I built a new shop at the house basically. And so the cool thing that I'm doing now is that I'm redoing all my wiring, get my, my 220 up, my 210 up so that I can use my welder, use, my compressor and all that stuff. So it's a continuous growth thing. Even though I was able to build a shop, I didn't have the finances really to do all the wiring because it's a massive project. So I'm being hands-on with that. I got a good friend who's educated with that. He's showing me the ropes. And we're doing it together. And I'm obviously greasing him a little bit, but I wanted to be hands-on as possible because that's my personality.
Good stuff, man. Like I said, I see. Like it's weird, man, because again, when we met, man, it's like you hit me up, man. We start talking. We gel right away. For the guys who didn't see the last podcast, I'll drop the link so you can kind of, you know, see. We're not really doing the intro this time because we already did that before. You got to keep up. Episodes is a sequence, guys, so you got to keep up. And it's not the last time he's going to be on here. But anyway, we met. We instantly gelled. We instantly talked. We were, you know, your business was already going for like maybe 3 years before when I started officially.
Yeah, Bridgemoto about Bridgemoto about 3 years in the shop. I think right at a year. Yeah.
So we like, again, we were still like in this, like that first 5 to 10 years of anything like legal, because we were all doing business before we got our license and paid tax. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, even though my shop is 4 years old, your business is however old it is. You were doing business well before that. Yeah. It was no tax ID attached to it. You know what I mean? It was kind of like you were doing it under the table. But once you start getting a certain number to get those accounts, like to get gas and you know, when the States is different. Here in Japan, you can't get like argon and CO2 unless you have a business license. You cannot. You can't in the States. I think you could just walk up and, you know, get argon as long as the tank is certified.
As long as they got your name documented and your photo ID, you're good to go. But
I'm sure it's still a few things that you couldn't do until you got your business license that made it more easier and more like, okay, this guy's legal and legit.
Yeah, just like bank accounts, the way I do the taxes, all that stuff, it's got to be legitimized, you know, before you get everything rolling.
Yeah. So speaking on that, man, like what's the, again, because you're there, I'm here. What's the situation with taxes and because you're boots on the ground, man. I just see the media and everybody tripping out. Trump's supposed to give people $1,200 or whatever that's, you know, under $65,000 or $75,000 a year. So what's going on right now as far as taxes, delays and things like that?
Far as taxes, refunds, and all that stuff, it's definitely been a delay. I've seen my state stuff get processed, but the federal has, I guess it's on ice because I should have had all that settled and paid for, and I just get no response at all. So I'm thinking they put it on ice until they get all this situated. Right.
And what's like where you're at in Atlanta? Like, so where's like how's the environment? What are people doing there? Are people like tense? Are they relaxed? Are they like, you know, having cookouts? Like, what's going on there? Yeah, because I see.
Yeah, so my situation's a tad bit different. I live basically an hour north of Atlanta, in a little area called Talking Rock, and within the local grocery stores and things of that nature, man, the shelves are just empty. You know, there's no toilet paper. There's like skimpy options on meats. There's no baby wipes. All kind of crazy shit, man. So people are in panic. But far as like a physical conversation with people, they're not really panicked. They're just super prepared, so to speak, in a sense. So they're not like running around with their head cut off or anything, but they're just like, I'm gonna buy this shit now before there's not any left.
Right. What's funny, man, about your situation is you know, being that you are in like, you know, the land. So all right, so the state of Georgia, state of Atlanta, like, so like you're located. You say how far from Atlanta again?
I'm an hour.
Oh, so like the funny thing is I'm making references to, like, you know, everybody's tripping over the toilet paper stuff. I'm like, dude, when I watch Walking Dead, which is kind of like the Bob, like the apocalypse survival, like, I guess, living document.
Yeah.
And one thing you never see those people fighting over is fucking toilet paper, dude. So it's like you guys are like Rick Grimes and all those guys are sitting back like, these motherfuckers ain't pay attention, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Glenn out there getting his head bashed in and everything for you guys, and you guys ain't doing it properly, man. So it's like everybody's just like of the one commodity, dude, of all the stuff. I mean, maybe you stock up on candles or stock up on fuel, kerosene, diesel. And I've seen people putting fuel inside the little Tupperware bins. I'm like, dude, it's not a good thing.
Just dumb. Because actually, let me give you a little update on that. Diesel fuel right now is $1.80. The average diesel cost 2 months ago was $2.50.
Yeah.
87 gasoline average cost 2 months ago was about $2.20. Now it's $1.35.
Wow. Like,
So the
man,
fuel is super cheap. I guess they're trying to, but they don't understand how oxygenation works and how fuel, basically releases into the air, and that content drops into shitty, and all the water gets into there if it's not sealed properly. And rubber and plastic don't seal fluids properly, so
right.
it's just silly.
Yeah, man. So you see all that stuff going on there, and it's like again, it's worldwide. It's like it's weird. Somebody I seen a picture right before I like took a nap or whatever, and somebody was like, in Britain, like they showed the shelves, and in each area, different items are going. Like in America, due to like buying up all like the meats and sweets, and then like in Britain, all the tea was gone. Like they like. I guess roads coming to as long as they can have their noon tea or whatever they do over there. They get to go. So the tea and coffee hour was just like done. Everything else is like, all right, cookies and whatever. They're like, all right, cool, whatever, we're good with that stuff. So it's weird, man. It's just what I step back and look at it in the aspect of, you see like little stuff like somebody posted up like in Italy because nobody is on the I guess the little Venice thing where everybody goes, kind of like the Tokyo equivalent to like everybody comes in and goes to Tokyo. In New York, they're saying the pollution is down. There's like clear. They're saying dolphins came back because there was no people there and the water was clear. So this is only a 1 week of not with humans just like staying away from nature, which it goes to show you, man, how much I race, I drift. I produce pollution like daily. So it's like, I'm not a squeaky clean guy and everything. And shit, man, they come to my shop, they see like all types of gases coming out the windows and welding and all that stuff. So it's by a byproduct of what we do, man. We produce a lot of waste and everything. And now you see like 1 week the world is just like, I'm gonna reclaim this and take over, man. And it makes you, for me, man, it makes me realize how insignificant we are, as people overall, and like the grand scheme of things, man, like how everything is connected. Everybody talks crap about China, but now you see China's going down. China's kind of the hub, to be honest, of everything, man. So as far as your business, man, like, 'cause I posted about it, how has it been for like delays and customers backing out or customers wanting to get stuff done sooner? How's that been?
Luckily enough, I would say we're starting to get bigger, so we're starting to get customers that don't really know us before they make a purchase. They have what I call unrealistic expectations. You don't ask for a custom suit and expect to get it next week. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would say 99% of our customers are very understanding, laid back. The biggest effect that we've seen is the cancellations of events. So we've had so far 4 events that are canceled in the next 60 days, which affects my bottom line, because we're heavy. I would put out a challenge like I did the first one. There's no company in motorsports that does more events in person as owners than us. We do 50 plus events a year.
Without a doubt. I would say like there's not anybody and there's not going to be anybody, because you're not going to see the heads of Spark. Put it out there, man. You're not gonna see Sparko and all these other guys, Alpine, whatever. You're not gonna see these guys, the owners, though. Actually, like you say, the owners, not some goofy rep guy with a little T-shirt on that don't want to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the actual owners, the boots on ground. You and Rachel, man, who got everything done and started up. Like that's a very commendable thing, man. So definitely that's why it was easy for me. Like, even though my business is coming up and you've been patient and not been like, oh, this guy ain't buying nothing right now, so screw off. Exactly what I'm going through, and also it's just it's kind of why our relationship how it is. You understand exactly what I'm going through, so that you feel it. You've been there. Then we got kids now. So it's like it's double time now, man. So
that's right.
I was ahead. I would think I was up 2-0. Now you like then you're like 2-1. Now I'm up 3-1. So
yeah, man. And, I can't beat your Pac-Man score.
I'm trying to get her to, man. And like, look, I'm like, look, dude. If you want to, she's thinking about the 4th, and I'm like, look, man. If you want to do it, like, I'd rather just do it now and get it done with, because after that, man, I think I'm gonna get fixed or something, man. Because like I got, it's just like that. Some people they struggle with it, and that's just not an issue for me. I don't think it ever is going to be an issue,
Right.
As far as the fertility, man. So we got to
shooting out the gym.
Yeah. So I got the staff. The staff is good, man. They come with, dude. I see your girl there at the shop, man. And like these guys, they just come here and they don't want to leave. They cry when they leave the shop. They want to stay in the shop and play.
That's
and everything,
good.
man. So
yeah.
But yeah, man. So how's your daughter doing and everything, man? With all this stuff, man.
She's doing good, man. My wife always makes a joke like about my immune system because I knock on wood, I really don't get sick. And my daughter is like identical. Like she got the exact bloodline in the sense of that. I mean, her immune system is bulletproof. She hasn't been sick as a baby, God, thank you for that. But far as overall cognitiveness and interest in cars and stuff, it's weird. Like I don't believe in pushing things on kids because what they're gonna do is just like anything. They're gonna push back. So what I've done is just literally do me. My wife may come out and bring me some lunch so that I can go ahead and eat it in the shop instead of wasting time. Or she may just pop out there with me. And my daughter comes with her, obviously. And, she'll be like, car. And then like today I was setting stuff up down here. My wife came down, just to make sure I didn't need a hand. She jumps up on the simulator. She's snatching the gear, the shifter on the simulator, like slamming gears. I mean, like slamming them hard, but actually understanding how to move through the slots and whatnot and working the wheel. So she has a natural interest for it without me pushing on it or trying to introduce her. She'll climb up on stuff and so I think she's going to take to it really nicely, but if she ends up loving another sport, I'm going to support that too.
Right. That's what's crazy, man. It's like same thing, and like I experienced, and it's like you step back and smile, like dude, like that's where you really believe. Like you can read all that stuff, you go to college, you do all this stuff or whatever about the genetics and all that stuff, but until you like, I know you experience the same thing. Like dude, she's gravitating towards something that I do, and it's like we do it so much, man, that like we don't realize, man. But we were like high school, middle school. You built the S13 back in the day and it's like you spend those hours doing things and like somehow in some way you're genetically modifying your own code, and then you produce a kid and then it comes out, man, and it's like doing stuff that you do, and when you see that, man, it's like, dude, that's real, man. Like I didn't like the flipping over the car, dude, like the R34. I posted a picture. And the youngest one, we bought two because they fighting over cars, so we got to buy two of everything now. So Haruki will flip over the GTR and like just tinkle with it. And now,
that Calsonic.
Yeah. So that one's already broken, dude. That one's like a missile now. Like it's like it got paint chips on it. So we got a new one there. You put that next to the old one, and now like the younger one is the same thing, man. He turns the GTR over and is like pointing at things, and like I don't show him videos. I don't show him.
No, that's a natural interest. Yeah, man,
it's crazy. Yeah. And then the girl, the young girl, the baby, man, same thing. She's just like, they got multiple toys on the ground. She would go for it'll be like the Mickey and some other little squishy toy, and then it'll be like a whatever car they have, like thousands of cars. Yeah. She'll play with the car, man, and she's only 7 months. Right. So it's like it's weird to see that, man. But yeah, man, it's definitely you know what I mean, you're again, man, to toot your horn for you, man. You're a hardworking guy. You put in a lot of hours, man, and you go home after a long day and still take care of the family, man. So that's a commendable thing, because there's a lot of dudes out there that's not doing that. And we're holding it down in the business and taking care of our family, man. So that's definitely a great thing. And now to the fact now where now I see deadbeat dudes in a whole different light now, man. Like, you bought this kid here. You wasted, you 20 minutes of fun, however long you lasted, and now you can't take care of this kid, man. And and that kid's gonna grow up to be an unproductive citizen, for the most part. You know what I mean? So
it's true, man. Yeah, you gotta own up to your responsibilities, man. Yeah, my dad taught me that early. He was very militant, but that's one of the things he instilled is always, owning up to your responsibilities. Whether if you made a mistake, and hit somebody with a car, or not a person, but had an accident, or just made a bad decision, be a man about it, and that's the same thing with these kids, man. If you can't own up to the responsibility of being a father, then wrap it up.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true, man. Because it's one of those things too. Is like when it, when I was like, man, when it first happens, you're like, man, how are you gonna react or whatever? You see the TV, you see the video of dudes going to Maury Povich or whatever, like trying to get the little DNA test and then dancing and stuff like that. I'm like, this dude's a clown, man. Like you even if it ain't your kid, you bang the chick, so there's a possibility that you can get her pregnant, and you're like dancing around the stage because like now that kid, they don't know who the father is because she was messing around with all these dudes. And now this kid's gonna grow up with no father, no identity, and that stuff, man. My dad, to get personal, people, my dad, I'll actually fly him over here and everything. We don't have a bad relationship. It's just that, my mom and him were dating, and then right after pretty much right after I got pregnant. I mean, she got pregnant with me. They already separated, but he just kind of didn't really do much, and she was going to college. It was kind of like she was like, yeah, it wasn't really meant to happen. It was a mistake. But I didn't want to do. I'm like glad she didn't get an abortion and everything. I want to be here working on cars, but what I mean. But the thing about it, man, it's just like as I got older, man, I could see what he was kind of repeating the same stuff over and over. I'm gonna get a job. Pretty much, he's a hothead, my dad, and I'm still living, still breathing. Young spirit and everything, but we don't really talk as much, which I'm gonna try to make good on that, myself, because time is limited. But it is what it is, man, and I can't. He sees me, follows me on Facebook, but it's just, we were separated, man. We were in the east side, west side. He was east side, and I seen him like every weekend and things like that. But at the same time, man, again, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't feel like I experience any downsides of not having him there, because I had a stepdad there and everything, and that worked out a little bit and everything. So, but for the people that don't know out there, man, we just talking. What I mean? It's just it's everybody's real. So everybody ain't come from a 2-parent home or a silver spoon home and stuff like that. Either way, whatever both of us come from, man, we're both we're in the industry now, running this and doing things and everything, taking care of family, and that's pretty much, I guess, the gist of what I'm trying to get at. Is we got multiple responsibilities while upholding quality work, and there's no excuse out there for guys who got multiple employees and it's just me and Alan. It's like pretty much the same thing. You and Rachel, and then me and Shinobu, man, because Shinobu holds me down, does a lot of Japanese stuff. Without her, I couldn't have this at all. So we have the similar crazy, man. Like you mentioned before, man, we got so many similarities, man. Whereas it's just like one of those things, it's going to be a lifelong bond, because our communication, I'm going to stop talking in a second, man. Our communication is very clear. Even when we do business with each other, man, it's very direct. And it's like, he does business just like I do business. It's easy. Like, no beating around the bush, no fucking around. Like, it is what it is. You want this, I want this, bam, done. And then, so with us, it's good. But then we deal with others. It's like they beat around the bush. They're not direct, man. Like, dude, what do you want? What do you want to do? You're not going to bring, like you say, I use your analogy all the time. You're not going to bring ground beef to Burger King for me to cook it up.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So why? Yeah, you don't. Here's another one, man. You don't go to Walmart bargaining the price, and let me get it for here. Well, Kmart has it for this price. Well, that's showing my age right there, but you know what I'm saying? Kmart has for this price, but then they expect to come to an independent person that's trying to do something for their community, being active in their community, and then they want to nickel and dime you, man. Don't waste our time, man. Just come direct, come with respect, and you'll get that in return. It's what I tell these guys, man. But it's just one of those things where we're starting to get to the point we're both in our mid-30s, where there's a younger generation, and it's excellent. I love the fact that they are so interested in motorsports, getting into the drifting, getting into the road racing, and to the Touge stuff. It's bigger than it's ever been, but at the same time, it's your duty as a consumer, just as like it's our duty as a shop, to come and not waste each other's time. Know what you want, know what you need, be willing to pay, and that's it, man. And make sure you get the amount of work that you pay for. Don't expect any less or any more. And then everything runs smoothly. And that's what I tell a lot of people. I get a lot of requests for my shop stuff, but just like you, I'm a one-man shop, so I can't take everything in. what I do is I filter my customers, because if you don't filter them, you end up getting some bad apples in a barrel. So I filter hard as hell. Like, first thing I do, I learn from you. Hey man, okay, great. I have availability 2 months out. Let me know your exact request via email. Now I know if they shoot the email, they're semi-serious.
It's real, yeah.
And then when I shoot them and I get more specific on the numbers or details without giving too much away, and they respond, and I know, okay, we hit another filter zone. Let's go ahead and get something set up in person. And man, it's just like what we talked about. Whenever you break your rules, you will regret it. You have to stick by your rules, and then business is smooth from there.
Yeah, that's true, man. That filter, man. Again, this is that's man. We both bounce stuff back and forth. I've took stuff from like the way you run your company, because again, you were running before me, not pent them in mind, and the same thing with the email. So, because I remember like you had the because Facebook is a new generation. You kind of want to play to their what they do. I started the app from my company, and it got a little bit of people there, but at the same time, the app is kind of like, it's like advertising thing, and I'll get into that like a little bit later, but it's like you want to kind of appeal to the new generation, but at the same time, you gotta teach them like this is how it operates normally every day. Like you work at Raytheon, you work at IBM, dude. They not functioning on Facebook.
No,
they doing email, and these guys act like email is art. I'm like, dude, fax machine. Dot matrix printers, that's old school, and
right.
I'm like, and in Japan still using fax machines. I'm pretty sure you ain't use a fax machine for your business, like ever. Yeah, so I don't even touch it. My wife sends fax out to HKS or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not asking you to fax me, dude. I'm asking you to email me. Everybody has an email account, everybody has an email account. So that, dude, every time, dude, that when a guy hits me up in my box, I'm like, you already seen my thing. They think they're special. I'm like, dude, email me. Stops. Conversation stops. Right. That's a great tool, man, because if you don't have that much more energy to open up Yahoo, Hotmail, or whatever, and type copy and paste all the shit you just sent to me, like you're not serious, man. It's like, it works great because everybody hits me up. There's like a 95% chance they're gonna follow through, man. It works every time. It works well, and also for me, when the people see that, it legitimizes my business, because a lot of guys will do Facebook business, and then you remember the last time, I think a year ago, when Facebook was shut down for like a day or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, all these guys were like, "Oh man, I'll get back to you and this and everything." And some guys out there probably watching, and I'm like, dude, if you're doing that as a business, it's a bad thing, man. Quick contact, hey, email here. That's how you want to do, but your business should not be solely Facebook, because you can delete people, block people. It's just not good, guys. So if you're running a business, I'm gonna look right at the camera. So when you guys running your business, man, you gotta Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is your advertising, your machine. It's not where you should be. It's not your office space, because that's somebody else's stuff. Even if God forbid you're doing like a Yahoo account or whatever, it's still your account, and Yahoo is not going to shut down. But if you're doing I tell guys, man, if you're doing business that way, it's just not good. It works that way. So again, this being direct and blunt, and the guys being straightforward, man. It's just, again, it works good for me, and I being 4 years in, and seeing other people's mistakes and seeing the research, man. We're in a time where the information is out there, so you can kind of see what works and what doesn't. You can just read up like, hey, don't do this. Don't not file taxes for 10 years and then think you're going to be good. Like, that's right. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's enough mistakes out there, man.
It really is, man. There's no excuse for ignorance these days, man. If internet was as big as it is now, when I finished high school, I never would have went to college. I would have studied everything I wanted to learn through the internet. I mean, the internet was there, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't high speed.
It wasn't high speed. It wasn't. The information was all blog style. It wasn't. You didn't have a lot of factual sources, because every source is not a good source. But man, you can learn. There's no excuse for ignorance these days, man. You can learn anything. You can learn languages. You can learn, how to build things. You can learn travel, whatever, man. So, at the end of the day, there's no excuse, to be complacent, basically.
Mm. Yeah, I'm making notes. I'm trying to do like as you talking, I'm like making notes, man. And one of the things I'm actually making a note right there I want to talk about right now is like as a result of because I was watching somebody else and he was like, dude, pretty much you can go on YouTube and become a pro at anything now because there's guys out there who didn't have a voice before and now YouTube is out there and you got electrical engineers like that one dude that always does an engineer explain guy. On YouTube.
Tall,
apparently, I didn't know he was actually an engineer.
It makes sense because his
breakdowns are
his vernacular is pretty deep.
Yeah, so the dude's an engineer and happens to be a car guy, and then like bam, just hits it off, makes him. I'm pretty sure he makes a good grip on YouTube, and he found his niche. But he's like one of the more popular guys. But there's 1,000 other dudes that are smart as hell. Don't really got the charisma, and they put out like you'll just go on YouTube and then see dudes breaking down the biology of this, and these are actual like master degree dudes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though I don't put it is what it is with that. I dropped out of college and everything, and whatever. I don't believe you have to be a double grad or whatever to be successful. But anyway, you got all these guys out there that are knowledgeable. They can press record on the camera and put the information out there. And these are credible people who don't have a reason to BS anything. Some stuff out there is you got to be careful because even knowledgeable people like car people, it's like, they got their theories or, running like this, man, run a math inline or do this or do that or run map sensor, run a 4-bar for this or whatever,
right,
all the theories out there.
Like I said before, you got to check your sources.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of that, man, so you got the YouTube mechanics. And I need to get a patch up here because back in the day, man, I went there for some things, but now I add more stuff. But from a customer, from a owner aspect, man, without names and without car builds, because they probably know who you're talking about. What's the messiest fix you've had to do, man? Like come behind service,
shop wise.
No, for your car service. From somebody who went online or talked to a buddy and they attempted to do work, man. Like, what's the biggest save job you do, or one that you turned away?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I do a lot of filtering. I do more turnaways than anything. One of the key indicators of a project that you need to turn away is when they come and verbally or online mention 2 different shops the car's already been at. You already know if you're number 3 comes with a strike. You see what I'm saying? So what I do usually, I kind of cross-reference and say, how many other people had this experience with those other 2 shops? Because I haven't seen too many that had these issues. Are you find yourself jammed up in a situation where you can no longer move forward with the project because you don't know what you're doing? Then you turn over your mess, your spaghetti, to another shop. You expect them to fix your problems, man. And I refuse to be that guy, man. I like customers who are honest with themselves. Hey, man, I need this. I had a guy write me today. Hey, I have an RX-8. I want to change all the cooling hoses out, and I want new motor mounts. This is what I want. I'm willing to pay. Just let me know how much it is. Cut and dry, meat and potatoes. That's easy. What I like. Easy, man. My biggest thing is not so the mess, because like I told you, I'm crazy about filtering. But one of the issues that I do have is like customers that or I have had in the past that was messy, is customers that want to be involved with the project, but they want me to do the work. I don't run a tutorial. I don't run a school, man. You like you say before, you have to relinquish all ownership temporarily once you drop your car off. Don't hit me up the day it dropped off and ask me how the paint looked. You know what I mean? The sun hasn't burnt your car down. You know what I mean? Like crazy little stuff, man. Like, I appreciate it, man. Just checking in to see if you looked over. Like, man, you just dropped the car off today, bro.
Oh
no,
my
I haven't
God, dude.
I told you in person 10 days. I have about 10 days left on this current swap, and then your car is next. One of the
Right.
rules I have is I never take on more than 2 customers at a time.
Mm.
So if I got one in bay, the other one I can get started, whether it be wiring, whatever it is, where I'm waiting on parts or
Right.
finishing up. If I'm tuning it, I can get stuff ordered in for it. Look over the car and say, hey, you actually need a new fuel pump. You actually need, this wire harness butchered, man. Whatever the case, that's one of the things I do. But yeah, that was been my biggest thing. People want to work in the shop with me, but they don't know what they're doing. Even if they did know what they're doing, they're not working in the shop with me. Just
Right.
I'm a one-man
Yeah.
thing, and I'm not taking on the liability either.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I had some people I commend, like they'll actually straight up ask. Like the guy just dropped off the car recently. He's like, hey man, and I don't know why he thought that did, because I've always showed him pictures. We worked before 2 times.
Right.
So I was like, dude, I document everything. He was like, hey man, when the engine comes out, you mind if I come over and do, like, dude, I already do that. I don't require that. I don't hold the audience. And then like I got the next customer, which I've already told him, but he hit me up, and he I don't want to mention cars, but it's a lengthy job. And he's like, hey man, I want to get it before or after. I'm like, that's fine, in the drop off, but then you can drop it off, do some video, and then see you later. So I'm gonna tell him in person, because I think he maybe read what I was said wrong. So he thinks he's gonna pop in or use that. He wants to make a documentary as an excuse to pop in. I tell guys straight up, if it's more than 5 days, do not just randomly drop in, because you dropping in, you take it. I'm not gonna work while I'm talking to you, and I've done it before.
You make mistakes easy that way.
Right, and I'm like, dude, this is not. I'll update you every 2.5 days. You'll see it on Instagram. You'll see it on Facebook, so you can actually follow along with your build, because you see how I post.
I mean, not to cut you short, but
if
I was in their shoes, I already know you're gonna take care of that, and not only that, but if you want to get the credential far as the before and after, you have the fall and you have the platform to emphasize that transition of where the car has been. To and from. So, hey, Donald, you mind shoot one of your cool videos on that while you got the car? Yeah. Boom. Now you ain't got to worry about him breathing on your neck, and he's getting the plus of the exposure.
Right. Yeah. So that's the I guess it's a tactic, like, guys, because a few guys have been, you can tell guys have been burnt by other shops, and this particular customer was he's one of the ones that, and I had to stop him. He wants to pay like everything like up front. I'm like, no, dude. No, because you know what that means, right? It's like
they think they own you. Then
they own you. I'm like, nah. I'm like, dude, you pay me what you need, pay me what I asked for. I don't know if he watched this. If he does, it's not a person. I'm just using this example, but pay me like because if I go over a certain amount, I'm not gonna mention a dollar amount, but if I go over a certain amount, I require the customer to pay half, because and then the other half when I finish, because the first half of that is going to be absorbed, like with stuff and materials or whatever in that first half of the job. Then I'll cover the rest. And I'm like, that's just my thing, man, because I can't get to the end and be like, oh yeah, man, and I got to get the 9K, or I'm like, dude, nah, we can't do that.
And for the customers listen, man, that's actually better for you, because think about it this way. Not only are you going to split up the portion of your payment, front half, back half.
Gives them time.
Gives you time to collect, gives you time to take care of things that may come up in between the process. But on top of that, guess what? Donnie's electricity is not due at the end of your project. It's due at the end of the month. And most of the time that comes up, he can't be waiting at the end of the month to pay his electricity bill, to pay his argon, to do all the things you need to do, pay for the shipping, taxes. All that stuff is a monthly occurrence. So, we can't be fronting people's bills.
Nah, man, because that's one thing I'm like eating big time. It's like the big leagues. It's the I got this for the security system, because I got all these GTRs here. Everybody's seeing stuff.
Yeah, I got a baby there.
Yours right up there. I'm looking at it right here on the camera, man. But the all this stuff. I mean, it's security alone, like just setting everything up. I spent about maybe $8,000, man, just in security. Yeah. Like alarm systems, wiring, because this building was old, so they had to go through and wire all this stuff, man. That shit wasn't cheap,
No, not at all.
The dome lights. So my electricity now went from, at my last shop, because I didn't do it at my last shop. My electricity, it was pretty much, I'm paying about $600 a month now, because I keep the lights on at nighttime, because
security.
$600 a month is is cheaper than one of my cars disappearing, because now the cameras can see at nighttime, and it's a deterrent because those lights are like stadium. So my shop at nighttime, when you come here, man, you'll see
picture at night.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that thing was blown up, looked like the damn Yankee Stadium.
No justice, man. No justice. So
really,
it's spiked up, and when you hear it nighttime, I mean, it's daytime. It's fully daytime. So when I have my car meets, eventually once I get a little bit of buffer money in the bank, you know how it is. You can't be really partying with projects in the Bay. It'll be nice because I'll be able to actually hold a car meet here, and it's like warm outside, is daylight at nighttime, and it's a good environment
too.
Oh, dude, when you get here, man, it's again, pictures, videos don't do any justice, man. So I'm really excited for you to get here, man. We'll talk about you coming over here next year and everything, and the reason behind that and everything. But yeah, man, everything is good, and that's what a lot of guys don't factor in. And I don't. When I first open up, again, it's like that thing where you wanna be transparent, and I am, but I would notice I was saying too much. Like I was telling guys, that's like, well, like they don't need to know about electricity. They don't need to know about whatever the fee is I'm charging. Is all lump sum. It's all wrapped up in there. And my lift install, I start putting it on my invoices where it says for 2 days, I put the breakdown of for the lift fee per day. So now they see all that stuff, and it's like it's transparent. But because some guys like, man, really cost that much? I'm like, dude, it's not the cost only for changing your brakes, man. It's the lift fee, it's the brake fluid, it's all that stuff which I separate into consumables. But they just see labor. I'm like, nah, dude, it's bigger than that. You know what I mean? So
that's right. Yeah, and if you sit there and dissect it, every single cost,
that's not their business.
Yeah, it's not their business, and it'll take a whole damn day to do it. I mean, I used it. I soldered this wire into this connector A+, and then we went back and did your O2 sensor with this solder. That's bullshit.
Right.
At the end of the day, meat and potatoes is what you get. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and like you said, you meant just kind of going back. You said like not getting what they paid for, not not over, not less. Our type of service, we never gonna give less than. We always like hey man, if it's in my area, I'll bring it up like, hey man, like I'm here right now, like this is your option. But what I'm saying right now, if it doesn't, well, I'll take that back. If it doesn't affect my job immediately, I'll kind of leave it as an option. But like if it's something that I know is going to happen, I already know it. And before when I get there, that the tubes leak, that the oil cooler little circlip on the oil cooler for RX-7 starts to leak after the mount, which you got your oil cooler kit for, which was great. We know what we're going to see before we get there, and we kind of cover them. But sometimes you get there and you're like, hey, what the fuck? What's this? What's the little zip tie or the bubble gum? It's like something that we can't see until we get on a job. Like, hey man, I gotta fix this. There's no question about it. But it was, what I'm saying, it's the optional stuff. Like, hey man, I'm working here, but this bushing is looking kind of bad. You want to take care of this now or later? All right, later, cool. I marked it. I've identified. I'm actually helping you out because I've seen some shops, man, Japanese dude. When you tell them I only want the transmission installed, they will only. And I'm talking about good shops. I've seen good shops, man. I'm like, dude, you install this greasy leaking ass transmission, and I'm like, so they would only install a transmission, tunnel vision, and it's weird. I'm like, dude, like that's like your name. And now I seen a customer call from another shop. And I'm like, bro, like they putting on work like this, and I'm like, that kind of made me feel. I'm like, dude, I'm doing them spectacular, because my name is not even like on that level yet, and I'm putting out service above them, and I'm by myself. This shop has multiple staff, and I'm like, dude, I know I'm good, man. When I sit back and I see stuff like that, there's no reason to put it online and say, oh, look at this shit. I just smile like, I got it, dude. What I'm doing is working. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Like one of the case in points is when you do a transmission job. I mean, I don't even work with you directly, but I know your processes. You clean it, you pressure wash and clean the inside of the bell housing. You go ahead and replace the rear main seal, because we know what we're doing. We know that if you got a trans down, you might as well go ahead and replace it. Unless that's a fresh built motor, that's the only way.
Yeah,
you're not touching that.
And even still, I still go in there with some air, man, just to knock out the little dust and barnacles, man. But
you grease up the throwout bearing. You make sure it's clean, make sure it's all intact, and then you reassemble. Yeah, man, it's crazy to me. I've seen people like they'll go and get a wheel hub replacement, but they got a blown out axle boot. You didn't replace the axle boot, but you put on the new hub.
Yeah, and they don't tell the guy that, and that's where like again, I know again you're in the same boat. You would see that boot before you even take the bolt off, before you take the cotter pin off. You'd be like, dude, with me, I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. Before I touch anything, I take photos.
Definitely.
I take photos before I touch anything.
They can see that your wheel is on the car. You can see the time and day. I email you. Yeah, like there's one on my website.
Yeah.
Some of my good customers, I'll upload like a bill. The R32, he had 2 blown out outer axle boots.
Right.
He wanted, fresh brakes, fresh rotors. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna pull this off and leave that leaking, man. You're putting all this money. We're doing Nismo turbos on the car. We're doing upgraded coolant lines, but you got a blown out, axle boot. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna do that. So, and I like the type of customers that appreciate me saying, hey, we're gonna go ahead and take care of it. This is the additional, cost. Actually, the labor's not gonna be as heavy as if I was only doing that. I'm already there. Yeah, exactly. I'm already there. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm with you, man. We see that stuff every day.
Yeah, man. Hey, 1 second, man. I gotta go. Actually, I'll be right back, man.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Let's go ahead and plug any events coming up, man. I gotta go pick up this package real quick.
Yeah, go right ahead.
It's live, real life out there, guys.
Yeah, man. Stay strapped. Yeah, guys. So, Alan Newsome, Bridgemoto.com, TougeTechniques.com. You definitely want to check out Bridgemoto.com. We actually just released some new gloves. So go to the tab, hit gloves. You'll see ultraviolet. We just released a model called the Fusion. The Fusion basically is purple and highlighter yellow fusion in the one. Ultraviolets are the best gloves we offer by far. It is external stitched, so super comfortable for us. The fingertips, no threads in the fingertips. They're double layer DuPont Nomex material, SFI certified. So you can use them for any type of grassroots all the way to professional drift use. We've got guys, using them in FD Pro 1 all the way down to grassroots. Another thing, a cool thing about the gloves is we don't actually put a wrist strap on it because we make the wrist a little snug based on the sizing. Sizing is small all the way to double XL, so we can get your fitment. And let's just say you have big banana fingers or gorilla hands, we actually make custom gloves. So we can send you a measurement chart to take a measurement of your hand. I got big hands too. And we'll make a glove that will fit you, fit like a glove, so to speak. So, yeah, Bridgemoto.com. Take care of you head to soul. We'll definitely take care of any of your racing needs. With that said, I'm going to plug in this phone. I'll be right back. Now, moving on to Touge Techniques, definitely give me a follow at Touge, Touge Techniques. You should know how to spell techniques. On Instagram, I build everything from rotary cars, 13B Roos, FCs, FDs, RX3s, any rotary basically, all the way to RBs, GC8s, anything you can do, EJ20. So just let me know if you need any shop work, service. Only do performance. But cool thing about my shop is I actually own all those platforms. I drive those platforms, race those platforms. So just let me know if you need any work. Check out the website, TougeTechniques.com.
Yeah. My bad. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, like this is funny, man. I don't know if you watched the last episode I had with Dave when he did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, I wonder what he's saying, man. With the
man, he gets a little. I keep it PG. He goes R-rated.
Oh yeah, dude, Dave is crazy. But no, man, I had to. That was one of those orders where and I knew you could hold. I knew if you. Some people was like, nah, Cal, I was going to forget the order, but I ordered these parts and everything, and I really, really needed them.
Yeah, you got another N1 block.
I can get it, man. Like I got that thing in 4 days. But nah, man, my delivery driver also. The dude drives a 72 Hokoska RB26 swap, but dude, it was when I first. Yeah, he speaks all Jap. I'm gonna actually do his car. Okay. I got a segment I'm gonna be doing. Well, this for my customers and people who I'm like close, like so I'll bring them to the shop, go over the car, go over the bill. Is this other than a podcast? Is this some more content to add to the shop and utilize a YouTube channel? So I'll get him on there and do that, man. But his car, it's one of those things, man, where the car is like it's well done, but it's like he adds like too much to it, man. It's like
he's just over saucing it.
Yeah, because it's already dope. It was already when the first form when I met him was already RB26 swap. It was already this, but it's like it's like now the Hakoska, it's not. It's like everything is carbon, everything is electronic, everything is like every bolt and nut is done properly.
Yeah, but he kind of pulled the soul out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm an old school guy too now.
Yeah, man. So what's up with the speaking of that? What's up with the is the RX3 or the RX?
Yeah, RX3. Yeah, RX3. Yeah, RX3. So last time I was on the podcast, I didn't own it. Remember, I was picking it up. It's been right at a year. So I got it, picked it up. Actually went through the entire engine, rebuilt it, sealed it up, redid all the suspension, converted it to FC. Actually, the whole front end is a FC setup. Mm-hmm. The rear is a FB setup, so it's all disc brakes. You know, it's originally drums in the rear, but I still kept the essence of it. I still kept the solid axle. I kept, a lot of the original things of the car, as far as the body, chassis, and everything of that nature. Yeah. So, it's mechanically sound. Mm-hmm. Now it's time for the aesthetics. I want to clean it up. Want to make it proper. Yeah. Use my skills that I have first on the car. I can paint basic stuff like a body panel and stuff, but I am not on the level of a restoration type of cosmetic guy. So
keeping it real, man.
Yeah, exactly. And you gotta what I learned is you gotta know what your comparable advantage is. My comparable advantage is spent on building cars rather than painting cars. So, I got a good guy that paints. Shout out to Street Approved Customs. They do all of my paint work, and we barter. We do a lot of bartering, so we look out for each other.
So he painted the same guy. He painted the Hachiroku as well.
He didn't paint the Hachiroku. He painted the FD.
Okay.
He's painting my GC8 now, and then he's gonna paint the FC. And the FC, I'm bringing heat with the FC, man. It's gonna be nasty. It's nasty.
But yeah, man, it's like that's what people they'll see like you doing something. I got 2 requests last week for car painting. I'm like, dude, it got around because I'm like, yeah, I painted the S2000, but that was my car, dude. Like, it's not, there's some runs and streaks on there. There's some mosquitoes in there and stuff, but that's my car, and it's for racing only.
It's different expectations on your own car versus a custom.
And I mean, it looks decent,
and it's
but
still
when
good,
but when you get into it, like you said with the RX-7, man, like it's like all the work you did, the restoration. If you took it to a meet and then people see like their streaks on it, all that stuff that you did, it's
bubbles,
like the one,
whatever.
Yeah, they'll be like, it'll just discredit everything you did. Yeah. So again, I got my cars that are like for Shinobu's Evo. I didn't paint that, even though like I can paint, but I took it to my guy. Like that's a different. That's her. It was a daily car at the time. It's a different kind of car. So like, something that if I'm building a show car, I'm gonna take it to a pro, man, because it's like you're not. What we do, we have a different lane and professional. You can't take your car to a paint shop, like I said before, and expect to go, hey man, go ahead and rebuild my rotary while you're at it. He's not gonna do that, even though he probably can.
Right.
That's not his. He's not gonna.
That's not his lane. He knows his lane. He knows what's gonna make him money. We know what's gonna make us money.
Right.
So why jump out your lane and slow down when you can stay up in the fast lane and get that cash and be good with what you do?
That's just one of the things in a growing aspect for me, man. Is I have to, we're both similar.
You suffer from the same complex as me. You want to do every goddamn thing yourself, including doing your own electricity in the shop. And that's why I'm going slow with it, but getting it there.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I think it's better to be that way than to be like some guys are just like, oh yeah, go ahead, just go ahead, man.
Right.
Just go ahead and take care of my wife for me and stuff like that. So it's So it's better to be more like for it, and then know you got to throttle back, and that's us just maturing as business owners and knowing like For example, my little scroller marquee Pinku style sign. I had it sitting on the side of the shop, and I was like, man, I'll get to it. I get to it. 7 months here, and I'm like, I didn't put the pole in the ground. I'm like, dude, it was $400. $400 for them to come out here and do that, and it took an hour. 1 hour.
It, man. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The same thing that would have took you, let's just say, 3 hours to do.
It would have lost money. It would have took longer than that because they had to dig in. They had the specialty tools where they got dig in the ground.
Oh yeah, they had the trencher.
Yeah, excavate that stuff. Like, dude, it would have took me because I'm not gonna buy that blade. I mean that drill. Which
you would have did that manual.
Yeah, that would have took forever to axe pick it. They seriously put the thing in the ground. It pulled all the fuel, not fuel, but the dirt out. They filled it with cement, set it, put the things in, and it's like, all right, here's the bill. And I was like, done.
Yeah, you're like, man, why did I wait so long? Let me another highlight to that and what helped me get over that hill, because I'm the same way, man. We both haven't had things handed to us, so we want to do things if we're used to doing things ourselves. But here's an added benefit to that. Not only are you releasing that task so that you can work on what you're great at, but also they take on the liability of what you want. So, for example, not in a negative way, but let's just say, like, here's an example. I had a car painted, not with Street Approved Cuts, but I've had a car painted, my Hachiroku. He did a great paint job, but there was a small run in the side skirt, and at the trim on the door, he didn't pull the trim up properly, so it started to peel. Now, if I did that myself, I got to jump back off of making money to fix that, because I don't want to pull up and be like, man, he did a shitty job. So what did I do? I said, hey, man, I need you to touch this up. Drop the car off. Boom. Hey, come pick it up. Drove it home. That's it. Now, I'm not losing my time. You see what I'm saying? And they're taking care of any touch-ups or whatever it is. So, you come out on the top like that.
Right. And it seems like, just by you explaining this, they're a solid company, because it could go two ways quickly. They'd be like, nah, man, like you try to put more clear coat on, or you try to wet sand, or it's either support right away, or like, nah, man. Or like, even for us though, I'm pretty sure you're the same way, man. I got my 6 month. I offer a 6 months warranty, which no shop, Top Secret, doesn't do this. Or Yamaha doesn't do this. I offer a 6 month warranty on jobs over a certain amount of money.
That's it. That's the key.
Certain amount of money. Yeah, because some things is like, nah, dude, that's not something that's going to come undone, and it's not going to happen. So, and it is this warrants that engine out, transmission out. Like, I know the clutch is going to be good to go. I got new bolts, new seals. I know it's not going to come undone because I double torqued it. So I'm confident that's not going to come undone. So I can offer that. And I never had a clutch come back. I never had an engine come back or anything like that. Or I'll do my post breakdown. The guy wants to go drive the car so bad he doesn't really listen. And now I do that. I'll stop talking because I want to breathe. I'm like, dude, are you tracking? Because these new guys, they don't make eye contact.
Take one ear out the other.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, what I'm explaining to you, you're going to experience tomorrow. Don't call me. And they do that. I'm like, dude, don't. I said, don't. You're not following protocol, man. Like, don't do that. And I just explained that this is a metallic clutch. It's going to chatter. It's what they do.
Right. Oh, my. I just new turbos and exhaust manifold in my exhaust manifold smoking. Hey, man, that is just a residual burning off of your new gaskets. That's just gasket burning off.
I even do, man, to prevent that, man. I've run cars for because even if you run it, it's that running temp, and then when you drive it, it's another temp. So
it's operating temp, and full throttle temp.
Yeah. So what I'll do is during that test, I'm like, all right, when we go on this test, man, you're gonna smell this. You're gonna. It's okay, dude. We could pull over and check it if you want. You got the exhaust wrap. You got some little solvents that you can't even. They just soak in the metal and stuff. We know that we every time you build a car, dude, it's going to smoke, man. Rotary smoke just because they smoke. Is just what they do, man. So it's just nature of the beast. But I'll break down to guys like, hey, man, this 264, 274, whatever cam, it's not gonna idle normally anymore. So before we go forward, you recognize. So now I put it to the point where after it happens, they've been briefed, so they can't say I didn't say that. It's a difference if I don't say it and then it happens. Oh yeah, by the way, that's not professional. And that's where I know we hold our people down, but we also will hold them accountable. Like, hey, man, I told you this is good for 18 psi, not 21.4, dude.
Right, and now you void
Yeah.
your warranty because you boosted it up.
Exactly, man. So
Yeah.
so that's why I always say within reason. And people, what do you mean within reason? Within reason means that I can see when people go back and change settings on that boost controller, because we know I write it down, and they're not really like they're turning up and turning gain to this. I'm like, dude, my gain was set at 34, not 54.
That's it. Yeah, and I set little bugs in the Apex CFC controller, so I know when you touch it.
Yeah.
So, and I told you just to use it as a monitor, and now you over there playing with the injector time, and you don't know what you're doing. So you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Then you can see it.
Yeah. So in that aspect, man, I haven't I've made a few, like we talked about before, man. I made a few mistakes. Like, not mistakes, it's growing pains. Like, policies. Like I said, I'm very firm on if I don't build the engine, I don't build it, I'm not guaranteeing it. As far as like if anything goes wrong, as far as installing, and also the source. Even if the engine comes from a reliable source, I'm still not responsible for the engine because I didn't open it up. It's not my work. So I'll put it in, but if it's an unknown source, I don't install it. Like if it's from your buddy Joe, I can't. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to put myself there. I'm not even going to do that. And as a result, not because you're doing well, man. On paper or on Instagram, my business looks well, but I tell people straight up, man, it's a month-to-month grind because it's still new. So I can't afford to go backwards.
No,
I can't afford
not
to
at all.
Like you say, you avoid those messy jobs, man. I can't afford to, like you say, avoid. But I've taken someone knowing that it was going to be bad, and I make the situation better. But even still, man, like the guy hands me $3,000. And he messed his car up so bad. I'm like, dude, what I did, it was done, and you paid me for it. But it's still like the customer, and I could tell because the dude never calls back, he never comes back. And then also like this particular customer, somehow he tried to attempt to like run my name down with people. Like, dude, like he explained that you didn't tighten everything down. Everything was loose. So I should have checked the cam. I didn't check it, and that's when I say when it snapped back. Like it ran and then it didn't run.
Right.
And then I did a compression check with him right there to see it. 0 pressure, not even 1 PSI, 0 pressure. So when I doing that, I did that with him right there to show him that I'm not trying to do any magic tricks. You got compression on 1 and 2, 4, 5, and 6, 0 on 3. I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
So when he seen that, his face like fuck. And I'm like, all right, well, let me, you owe me $3,200 for this. Now you got to pull the engine out. And now he's like, man, I should have came here the first time. Like, I told you that. So now you're living and learning, man. And he's still kind of, this particular person, man, I'm done with. I don't even want to. It's not
a good headache.
It's not good. And then also when I'm straight up and 100% legit and you're still conniving, like, dude, we can't work together because when I see you, I'm definitely gonna bring it up when I see this guy again. Actually, I have to see him because I want to ship his car for him. So, like, hey man, what was up with you? What was up with you telling this person I didn't tune Helltech when you see a big ass banner, and I told you to face that I tuned Helltech. So he told a guy that I didn't tune Helltech so that he can sell him his Helltech. So he's bringing out my services to try to make a sale, and
to
I've seen
benefit himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, man, you don't gotta do that. So I'll bring it up to him. He'll be shocked, but it'll be a life lesson for him. Like, hey, man, the world is small, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Especially
karma's
this area.
a real thing too.
Yeah, and I'm like, so you did that, and I'm like, I'm gonna let you know that I know that happened, and you potentially lost me money, but the guy got the Helltech anyway on his own, and now I'm still doing install. So it didn't work. It backfired, and he didn't get no money. So it's like, hey, man. Keep it straight up, man. But anyway, I'm dwelling on my stuff, my customers and everything. We all talk about this stuff anyway, man. But I got some other notes right here, man. It's the so right now, I see you got, is that the Beams 8.6? Is that your own swap or somebody else's that you're doing right now?
The one I'm doing, I do have it. My hatch is a beam swap, but the one I'm doing currently on my Touge Techniques page is a customer swap.
Okay. Yeah. So you got was that because I remember did you sell one of yours or you had a swap kit or something like that you were putting up for sale?
I had a swap kit, and the guy actually hit me up and said, "Hey, I've got a GTS,
nice,
Hachiroku, I want to buy the swap and pay you to install it. So a double whammy right there.
Nice.
Yeah, and that one, the dude actually lives in Chicago, so he brought the car all the way down from Chicago,
Oh,
which is like 12-hour, 13-hour drive
that's
from where I am.
that's a gratifying feeling right there, man.
It is. It is. I mean, and especially because I do zero paid marketing when it comes to my shop. I
Right.
pay no dollars. Only post my stuff, and I do my Facebook. So that's kind of rewarding to see somebody that's willing to travel 2 days time, to get their car worked on by me versus anybody else in between that travel. But yeah, swapping that up. One of the things I do with my customers is I give, once I know they're serious, I give them a full breakdown. Like, this is how I do this swap. I'm telling, I'm not asking in the sense, I don't say that directly to them, but what I'm basically doing is telling them this is how I'm doing it. These are the parts that I use to swap it. Like I said, about the steak. You don't bring your steak to Waffle House and say cook it. So all the parts I order through that ensures that you get the right part the first time. Any issues, far as non-fitment or wrong part, I can address it directly.
You can handle it. Yeah.
Exactly. And on top of that, it helps me build rapport with the supplier. So my customers in the future, or that current customer, I'm going to get my part next day, same day. I'm going to get priority over the guy they don't know. And that's came in the benefit a lot of times, so.
Yeah, and that's important, man. That's one of the things because actually right after you said that to me the first time about the bringing in ingredients, what I would do, because being American and then being in Japan, it's a little bit different because everybody the stuff in Japan is marked up. Then they can get like model parts there. But one of the issues, for example, the GC8.
Okay.
Whatever the guy did, he went on Rally Direct, and it's not the first time it happened because the Subarus, but left-hand drive, right-hand drive. Same thing like the RX-7, the downpipe left-hand drive, right-hand drive are not interchangeable.
That's
so
right.
the dudes are buying the USDM downpipes in video, whatever, nice stuff, but the angle is wrong, and I got to cut, rotate it, shorten it. I'm like, dude, you got a drive shaft on this side. You don't got a drive shaft on that side. So they're buying this stuff, and then I fixed multiple downpipes. They go to Rally Direct and they buy stuff, and then the US the RS2
Impreza RS.
Yeah, Impreza RS is not the same. It's similar, but they're different things, man.
Yeah, the chassis for its coupes are basically the same, but the actual drivetrain layout is completely different. Not even the subframe is the same.
Exactly.
I built one from scratch. That's how I know. Because the American was shit. So I had to I bought a full half cut and built the GC8.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So the guys like that, man, with the like models, they'll try to order parts there. I will give a shout out, to the Z1. Z1 is one of the few companies that they specify it. Left hand LHD, RHD. When you guys see that on your part stuff, is there. They're one of the few companies where, because I like to make the process as easy as possible as far as ordering, which now is everything needs to go through me. But, for a customer to send money to me and then me to send that money to them, when I don't have a deal, what I'll do now is, as long as they get advising, I'll send them a link, or they send me a link. I'll check, yes, this is what you buy as an intercooler kit. So I advised on it, and long as Z1 doesn't send the wrong parts, we're good to go. But this showing up, like I had the GTO, which that first one. Right. Man, that thing, I mean,
parts.
And that car never, because I didn't invite that car, never, he invested so much money into the parts. He didn't want to save face and turn back. He just was, I want to do this. So some things I say I'm not going to install. Other things I'm like, dude, we can put it on there, but this is not going to be good. For example, he had the Chrome ECU. I'm like, bro, this shit's this is some.
That's old school.
Old school.
I know about Chrome because I used to tune VR4s with those.
Yeah, and it's I was like, dude, this Chrome is good for parking lot meets. I don't know any it's because number one, you got the Tatris cable, you got two different softwares you got to have. So I spent money buying all this stuff. You got to use
Evo Scan and
and then it didn't. Then it's locked in there, and I'm like, this is pretty much it's a ROM tuning. It's what it is.
Yeah, that's solid.
And it's very. I'm like, man, I got used to it, but just I'm like, dude, this is just not working, man.
It's
It's
so
just not.
inefficient. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
dated.
and then he put this turbos on there and everything, and then I'm like, bro, this like it just never. He paid me the money. He was always saying he's satisfied. And he posted up on my thing 5 stars, but I'm like, bro, this it's just you're paying me all this money, and every time there's issues with this car, the TPS not working, this not working, and it's like it became a nightmare. And I'm like, bro, I really don't want to take any more money from you because this is just you need to just hit the reset button on this thing, man. And it's because he bought all this stuff before he got with me, and I didn't advise. So I do have to advise guys on, hey, man, I will not install this brand. I will not do this because I know the outcome was going to be. And that put me in a spot where my warranty, it's like it's making it have to have warranty is like just in case shit happens.
Right.
They're making it happen. I'm like, dude, I'm not putting an Acme turbo in it because I know I'm not. You know everything you gotta do for a twin turbo RB26 install.
Yeah.
I don't want to undo that, man. I don't want to.
No.
I don't want to do it once and over.
That's it, man. Yeah, because it's complicated as it is. You might as well put the right parts in there the first time.
So it's like, hey, man, on my own shit, I'll test for stuff out. But I'm like, dude, when it comes to customer stuff, if it's not reputable, I just don't do it anymore. And some companies, I don't even got to put the name out there. It's just some companies, Garrett's gonna back you up, and even Garrett, man, like I've seen. Installs happen and then turbo didn't go right, but Garrett, they'll back it up long as it's installed by a pro shop and not in your backyard. And that's where the differ is, like where guys, I'll tell them, man, like number one, everything is almost everything says offer use only, save their ass,
right?
And then the second thing is installed by a pro shop. And I told a guy I had some coilovers go out. I'm like, dude, you're okay, guy, level headed, just letting you know. If you install these yourself, like my guys are good, but if you install these yourself, you don't have a warranty. So I wasn't trying to upsell them on my service, but I'm like, look, the warranty is only valid. It's valid for me if they have a shock go up. Bam, he sends me another one. I don't even got to send no one back. Right. He sends me a new one in the mail. He knows I'm not gonna take him on. I'm not gonna try to Jew him on some struts over 4 years to get me a full set when I can just buy it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
I'm
it.
like,
or
dude,
he'll probably even front you with all the business.
Yeah.
And
so I'm like, look, man, if you install these and then you happen to do this or whatever, there's no. He's like, all right, I understand. I'm like, all right, cool. As long as I said it, I looked you in your eyes and said it, we're good to go.
That's
so
it.
You can't say I didn't say it and everything, man. And I emailed it to him as well, so it's documented. But that pro shop thing is big because they know that we're going to clean it. They know we're going to torque it down. They know we're going to do the right things. And if we're not going to like, oh, it's good enough, send it,
right.
all it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Garrett dealer for a little over 5 years, and like one of the main things is you got to pre-lube the turbo. You know what I mean? So you strap that thing down, you strap the lines on it, but you don't pre-lube the turbo, and you crank that thing up dry. That turbo's done in like 20 seconds. So they know the shop is going to go do the proper pre-inspection and protocol to make sure that part's going to last.
Right. Restrictors, lines, everything, man.
Yep.
Because that's where the biggest thing that I see, man, is the DOI guys, man. Like they don't know the flow, man. It can't be like a 90 degree to a 90 degree to a 90 degree. Like shit, look, your damn roll return is like a square looking like this, like, and it's like the sharpest 90 degree bends. I'm like, dude, the oil is going to hit that wall. Then imagine like when you start boosting it up, man, it's not going to drain back into the pan. Now your oil that's supposed to be in the pan is in the CHRA, and this is all bad, man. Or using the wrong restrictor, ball bearing versus journal bearing versus dual bar bearing,
different flow rates.
So we know all that stuff because we actually sat down and read this stuff 2:00 in the morning, where everybody else is drunk and partying and stuff like that. So that's the difference between us and them, where it's just it is what it is with that stuff. We can't help it, but that's where it comes to the pro install, man. But yeah, as far as the car builds, you see posted up the your was the RB30 the 34 3.4 liter your
3.4 liter, the S14. Yeah. It's a 15 front end, but it's S14.
Oh yeah. So that's why I like, man, got the S14 over there and everything. S15 over there, man. But so how, like, what's the plans for that this season? You want to run it around or demo it or?
Yeah, so my goal for that is to set up with a new clutch. I'm doing a more streetable clutch, and I'm doing a CD009 swap. And so my goal for it, I had it on E85 tune. My goal is to do a flex field tune so I can start using it a little more street. The car is a rocket, man. The car is ridiculous, but until I put aero on it, it's really not going to be competitive in the time attack arena.
Right.
I mean, that's what it needs, man. It's just at Road Atlanta, which is my home track. I did 176 in that car, and the front hood bows up like a cobra after about 150 miles an hour. And I've got OEM S15 hook, and I've got 2 quick latches on it, but it still bows up, and look, it's about to fly up on me. So that car really needs some good downforce in the rear and front, and probably lowered about half an inch, and it'd be perfect. But my decision is, do I want to chop that car up, or do I want to click? Because the car is flawless. Do I want to chop it up, or do I want to have an excellent demo car? It's got carbon seats in it. It's got our harnesses, everything, kick, boodle, wheel. So what I decided to do is have the car a little more streetable, do a flex fuel tune on it where I can drive it to events, do demos, also do some exhibition, drives and races and stuff. But my FC that I'm building is going to be my all-out, take off the head car, basically. So I'm going all out on it. I've already built the motor. Now I'm in the process of building. Haltech basically sent me a terminated harness that I have to build all the plugs for. So I'm in the process of building all the plugs, cutting it to length and all that stuff to make sure I can have that car run perfect. I'm using Elite 1500, which I love Haltech, by the way. We're both Haltech dealers, and we know how great their products are. Yeah. So I'm in the process of building the wiring harness. Once I'm done with that, I can drop it in, but I can't really build a harness with the car in there because all the plugs and length and all that stuff, it's got to be kind of mapped out on the engine side before I can put it through the chassis. Plus, it has a standalone relay, a big relay box. So once I run it through, I don't want to pull it back out,
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is like it's so many, like every car, man. It's like you go from that car to your RX-3 to the Hachiroku, and they all got their different challenges, different styles, different everything, man. So that's where a lot of people, they come to your shop and they'll even give you crap about, man, you got like, what car are you going to show up with today, or
they talk shit. A good way, but
yeah. So like I'm pretty sure it's kind of the same way. It's I'll talk with you offline with this some of these next acquisitions because I don't want to put it out there, but right. It's like you'll sell one car and then you get 3 more next week, man.
Yeah, man.
It's like, dude, I'm trying to downsize, and like I just keep getting people crashing cars. Like, all right, cool, man, I'll take it, man. You know what I mean? So I can't, like, I'm definitely gonna hit you up with this other one again. I just want to keep it off, but some crashes is like, hey man, I hope you're good to go, but you want to part that out, or you just go ahead and it's like, yeah,
is it too soon?
Yeah, because it's like, hey man, right? I'm like, bro, like I'm gonna tell you straight up what you're gonna get for what and what you're not gonna get, and the part out, because I don't personally do part outs because like you take all the stuff apart, now you got all these parts laying around the shop that you got to catalog. So my thing is I kind of sell the whole damn car. Like I got a guy's coming actually to check out the GTO I got. 2000, it's NA. He's like, dude, perfect timing because I was just about to put it on Yahoo. He has an NA automatic GTO.
Yeah.
And he wants manual. I'm like, dude, I actually have a whole car. I'm like, dude, this is. I'm like, bro, the whole car, everything, all the bolts, everything. I'm like, dude, this is your best thing because you got the whole car there. That's the easiest. Those are the best swaps for me, man. When I got the whole donor car.
Yeah,
with everything I need.
Yeah.
There's everything there, man. So I'm like, he kind of didn't, he wasn't really following what I was saying. I'm like, he was like, well, can you take the parts? I'm like, well, I could take the parts out, but now I'm gonna charge you because he's already, like you said, being straight up. He's already said I can't afford what everybody else is charging me. I'm like, dude, we definitely can't afford me then because I'm doing it better. I'm doing it better than anybody in town. I told him straight up. Yeah. I'm like, if you can't, whatever their numbers they put out, mine's going to be higher. So like, he was like, all right, well,
pricematch.com.
Yeah. And that's what he did. I mean, so I appreciate that he was straight up about it, but I'm like, dude, you went to 2 other people before you came to me, which means you knew about me, but you wanted to see what you can get. So I don't take it as an offense, but I'm like, look, man, your best bet is to get with one of these other gurus in town and then get the car, and you got the whole car there, the whole damn car. So I'm selling it for this much. Take it or leave it. So when it gets here, I'm gonna shock them at all. I'm like, hey, you want it or you don't. I'm not selling you anything. I know what I want. When I see something on Yahoo Auctions, I want that. Even though I know it's a, whatever, I already know I want it. We ain't got to do no talking.
Made the decision.
Yeah.
It's just a process and operation getting it to where it needs to be.
Yeah, man. But what you got? Like, what's I mean, same thing. I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, man, you got any cars? Because we get so many cars, man, that we don't. For me, man, I get so many cars, man. I don't even like take pictures of a lot of cars because it's like that car's life is going to be short. I'm going to take what I need, scrap it or whatever. But what's some recent cars you acquired, man, that maybe I don't even know about?
Some recent cars I acquired. You probably don't know that I have 3 Hachirokus.
Yeah, I don't know that, man.
Yeah, I recently picked up a red GTS. I never posted out. That might be in the photo of like the whole parking lot, but I didn't take a single photo of that car. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the one I posted on. I was like looking like a
Tech
Ariana. Yeah, because it was like 3 Hachirokus all staggered, like probably not even done on purpose, but they're all there, man. And like if you look, a lot of people they're smart, man, because they actually will see in my background now. They see the foreground, but then they'll see, and I'm not doing this on purpose. Like I got a JZX 100 Chaser for $200. They got front end damage, but it's still, for what I'm going to use it for, it's perfect. I got a whole core.
You don't need a radiator support.
Yeah,
you can
so
clip that.
I actually got a whole new core. I got found another shell, so I'm gonna put that back together. But for my purposes and also for flipping it, I show the person what it is. They know it's been fixed. They're gonna drift it. It's gonna be put in danger anyway. So it's not like they're going to win a car show or numbers matching car show or Barrett Jackson. They already know it ain't, you know what I'm saying? So you keep it real with them like that. And I'm like, look, man, it's been repaired, but look, it drives straight. Even with the core damage, it drives 100% straight. The alignment is 100% straight. So, but I got that.
And like I say, man, it's built into the price.
Right.
For certain tier price, you're going to pay for this. You're going to get this product. If you want one you can showcase, then prepare to have 25 Gs. You know what I mean? Right. Don't expect, the opposite,
I'm pretty sure even for you, man, because like a few, notice most of the cars I sell, I'm just selling a car at value. I don't factor in my labor for the most part because you can't. You factor in your labor plus the cost of the car. Nobody's gonna, I got it. That GC8 I got. I put if I add all the time up because I still got a little bit more to do. I probably between the engine out, doing the gaskets, doing the timing belt and all that stuff, which is easier while the engine is in front of you in a stand. Putting it in there, cleaning the engine bay and everything. I'm only selling the car for $4,800. That's it. Take it or leave it. But I put more time and money into that car than $4,800. As far as overall.
Oh, most definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and people don't realize we don't get that money because you can't market it like that. And when the guys who do market it that way, you see the $35K for 1989 R32 with stock turbos.
Right, and they're like, "Here's my labor cost that I had printed out by the shop that did it. This is why it's worth $10K plus $15K." No, it don't work that way, man.
It don't work that way, man.
You gotta chalk it. What I say is 10% rule. If I got 100 hours in it, I'm probably gonna get about 10 hours back of labor. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you're lucky, depending on if it's a rare chassis or not. But yeah, you just got to chalk that up.
Yeah, I mean that's the benefit of us also being it. We that's where again people are like, oh man, it only took you 10 minutes to do that. I'm like, nah, it took me 10 minutes to do it because number one, your car conditions were good. They weren't like anything rusted or broken. Snapping a downpipe bolt off turns in from 30-minute job to now I got to take this down, drill it out, tap and die. You know what I mean? And I tell guys that too with these old cars. Like, dude, if this shit snaps, then we got. And it's not. I'm putting heat on it. I'm putting PV blaster on it. It is what it is. Those downpipe studs, they just snap. Sometimes they come off all perfect. Like I got the Z last night. All 3 come off. But the people like they don't really factor in that stuff or understand, man, that there's a lot more to it. That 10 minutes that it takes us or 30 minutes. Most of the time we ain't doing the 10-minute stuff because we ain't Jiffy Lube. But that hour job. We perfected that, and that same hour job would take you and your some cronies 5-6 hours.
That's it. And then it's factored in that we bust our ass and saved up $2,000 to buy a lift. So that deducted some of that time within itself
Exactly.
just by popping it
Yep.
on up.
Exactly. So you go to the, because I've been on, I'm not like I've come from forums, so I'm not pretending I don't. But you go to Naziak, you go to Evolution Forum, and they're like, man, that transfer case is a bitch because you gotta lay on their back and go like this. And I'm like, I've been there before on the ground where the things it's touching your face, and the subframe is like right on your nose, and you got your jacks there and everything, but you can't jack it up too high. But like on the lift, we go like this. With a breaker bar and the transfer case is off and to the side, you know. What I mean?
And if you really want to get cute, you'll go ahead and roll out your transmission jack, pump it up, and you're good to go. I mean, I busted my nose doing an S13 drive shaft.
Oh, when it falls down.
Yeah, I was. You know how you like hold your knees together and bounce it on your knees while you try to put the bolts in. Slipped off my knee and bust my nose, back in the day. Yeah, so I've been there, but like perfect example is Evos or the VR4s when you do the transmission. Yep. That's a hell of a job if you don't have a lift.
Yep. Yeah, man. I could do. When I did that one, it's that one of the biggest things that goddamn I hate all cars with that rear center dampener mount. That rear center one where you got to line the engine up perfectly to slide it in there.
You got to tilt that bitch back.
Yeah, dude. That's like the whole when I do the job and the person is talking, I'm like, dude, I'm thinking when the person comes to me and I'm like, hey, we're going to do this. The whole time I'm talking to the customer, I'm like, dude, that fucking back bolt's going to be a bitch. Yep. Like I'm thinking about that already, and the job is not the 2 months. Like that fucking back. But now it's like you get efficient with it. You know that you get that one fulcrum point where you know it's going to line up, because the biggest thing is making the engine go like this or making it go like that.
Yeah, to kind of counterbalance that transmission. Right. Yeah.
But again, that's the skill set that we know where it's at. I'm not going to put that out there to the market. We know how to do it. We know how to do it, and that's what you're paying for.
No trade.
Yeah. So the dudes hit me up like, hey man, like, nah, I can't. I'm like, if you can't find it on Google, then it's not out. It's not meant for you. Like NASA's not going to go out there and put out the ingredients to build a rocket booster. I'm sorry, they're not going to do it. Somebody probably figured it out, or they got fired from NASA, but you're just not going to learn how to do that. You're not going to learn how to build Apple iPod or whatever. That's proprietary stuff. So when guys come to me, man, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to tell you what I use to clean the engine bay. That's, you figure it out. Test the products. I found what I found, and it works great. That's, that's just trade secrets, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't give it out. But people, they're a little wild, man. But we beat that up, man. One thing I want to talk about, because I've mirrored you, so my shop downstairs with the little arcade stuff, and I added some more stuff to it. Like I noticed, like you integrating like the arcade sims and stuff into the business, having the meets and everything. Like what made you start doing that? Like the Wangan Midnight stuff and the Initial D stuff, and what's your
you see him behind me, don't you?
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's actually a deep question, but I'm gonna get on it. My initial, I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, but it wasn't cars. It was actually arcades. It was actually the video games. So when I was a young kid, my mom would go to the mall to get her hair done. Hair job. 2 hours.
It takes forever.
Especially the sisters. The sisters it take a little longer. So that being said, I would spend my time in the arcade. So I wanted, when I got older, to own my own arcade. That was my dream. Unfortunately, with my age and of that becoming a possibility, arcades died off. Right? They died. When I was like 16. But the funny thing about it, Wangan Midnight, I used to play that in an arcade at 12, 13 years old. I used to play Initial D, 12, 13 years old, before a driver's license. And here's the truth of it. I didn't know what Initial D was. Yeah. I had never watched Initial D anime not once. I only knew it as a video game. And so the reason that I got into the S chassis that we talked about, my very first car was actually a Honda Del Sol dual head cam VTEC. Yeah. And I know you started from Hondas too. Yeah. So the first time I ever saw a 240 was a friend of mine named Chris, his older brother. He was already graduated from high school. He had a '89 hatch 240 single jingle with nitrous. Built single jingle with nitrous. I never knew what drifting was. I only knew what that car was because of that affiliation with his brother. So long story short, when I was admired by that car, I saw a S13 in the junkyard across the street from my girlfriend at the time's grandmother's house. I saw it and I recognized the body shape because, you know, the hatch, it didn't have any fenders on it, but I could tell by the roof and the hatch that it was the same car. Literally walked over to the junkyard and said, "Hey, I'm interested in that car out there. How much do you want for it?" And he was like, "Actually, none of our cars really have clean titles, but that one actually has a title." He was like, "That one actually has a title." And when it dropped off, it ran. So I went out there and looked at single jingle, no seats, no fenders, no hood. Motor was in it, barely run. He wanted $350 I paid him $350 because I was working at Taco Bell at the time. I told him, "Look, if I buy the car, I need you to haul it to my parents' house." Didn't talk to the parents or nothing, you know. Pull up with the most jankety S13 in the world, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, my mom's like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, and that my dad, she called my dad on the phone because he's at work. You know, he
like,
works.
This boy crazy. Yeah.
This boy crazy. And I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna build this car." But it's like, "No, get that shit out of here." So my dad got home. He was pissed because she aggravated him at work about the car. And I said, "Look, if I put a cover on it, will you let me keep it?" Because they were like, "You got to get it out of here. You got to get it out of here." I was like, "Look, if I buy a cover and put a cover on it, will you let me keep it?" They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to put a cover on it." And whatnot. He was like, "Well, I'm gonna build it, right?"
Like that thing ugly as shit.
Ugly as hell. Yeah, straight out the junkyard.
Yeah.
And no joke, my dad, he was mechanically inclined, but he was burnt out on that stuff, so he never shared that any of that information with me, other than like brake jobs and stuff like that, but not any performance stuff. So I learned all that on my own. But I took that chassis and built it up, sure enough, and got into the S chassis that way. I had a buddy that worked for a shop in Macon, and he showed me how to build an SR harness. This was before any like forums were out there. Yeah, any wiring specialty, none of that was existed. So we built the harness from scratch. Bought the SR, swapped it. Literally took me like a year and a half to buy the SR and whatnot. But that's how I got into the S chassis. I didn't even know hot version, initial D, best mode. I didn't know none of that exists. The first time I saw any initial D or Keiichi Tsuchiya, I was in the college library and I was looking up, you know, like S13, and a Touge video popped up of the Touge special hot version. And I used to watch. I didn't even know they had the Touge stuff. And from that point forward, I learned more about different chassis because at that point I only knew about Hondas and S13s. I didn't know anything else. And once I started learning that, I started reading the magazines more, learning about different chassis, and it just kept building. And that's why I'm so strong on the Touge stuff. That's why my shop is named after that, because that initial lust came from finding those videos by random. I didn't even know it existed.
But yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna clip that out, man. That was hilarious because it is, again, man, relatable stories, man. I didn't know that was a thing because you beat me because my first S13 was $1,000. Bought it with four ball tires, and I drove it back with a I bought this S13 license plate off eBay. Had the little S13 with a little kanji on it. I know what you're talking about. I drove it home with that, dude. I drove it home with that on the car. Like, I'm like, dude, if I get pulled over, the cops.
That would have been your ass.
What the? No insurance, no nothing. Actually, I didn't have insurance in that car for like 2 years. First 2 years, I had a buddy who worked at the insurance company. He gave me a policy. Dude, we business owners.
I'm gonna send. Hey, when this is over, I'm gonna send you pictures. I've got Polaroid.
Please,
pictures of the car when it arrived and after I built it.
Yeah. Send me those so I can mix it in there, man. Because
Yeah.
what was that one? I think that it was not Car Domain, but that one site that everybody was on, that first site that everybody put their cars on. I forgot the name of that. It was like the same time a Street Fire was hot.
Modified car.
Yeah, modified. Modified car was a little bit more fancy. It was like more like a blog. I forgot what it was, man. But it was
what
like
I was on was called Import Atlanta, but that
Import
was
Atlanta.
because it was local. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was our.
But it was pretty much something where everybody loaded there because that was the only place I had mine because all the.
It was like a MySpace, but for cars.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
It'll come back to me, but that was the only place I had all my pictures at the time, and then like I think Image Shack had I had all these pictures there, and all my pictures were like they wiped out just like you said.
Right.
They disappeared. The photo bucket did the same thing, and I don't have the cameras, so like all my photos. I do got a good grip on them, but I don't have my first car was an 86 Celica ST. I don't have a single picture of that car. I bought it on Craigslist. $400. Everything rusted, everything leaked, and I owned it for like maybe 4 months, and then never seen the car again. Got towed away, but yeah, it was funny, man, because it's funny how parents, man, like they like the 240 pulls up, like, man, what the hell is this thing? Get this thing out of here! Like it's a dog or a puppy. Like, can I keep it? Like he's like.
Right. It's like you gotta watch
it. Yeah, man. So like they don't, and then you know what? They probably like when you got it running, they probably like, man, it's actually a nice looking car, man.
Yeah.
So
they
don't see
doubted
it.
me, man. He doubted me for sure, but I was like, you know what? You gonna see. You gonna learn today. Yeah. And sure enough, man, he ate his words on that one.
Man, like I took my mom. Did you ever take one of your parents for a ride in it?
I took my dad in a ride because my mom, she don't like stuff like that. You know, she's afraid of speed and all that, even though she drives crazy. I took my dad in a ride for it, and he's an old school Mopar guy. So,
the torque wasn't there.
Torque wasn't there, but he was impressed with the turbo because he was like, he heard that thing whistle up and take off, man. Yeah, he was very impressed. Very impressed. He was like, it's nice. It's got some top.
Yeah, it's nice.
But he's like, but I'll smoke your ass red light to red light.
Yeah, man. You can't. That's just like the era, man. Like I say, it's gonna be something different when our kids get of age, man. It'll be like maybe on some hardcore hybrid. Maybe by that time, hybrids will be like doing hybrid performance more. Outside of the EV stuff and F1 and all that Le Mans stuff. That's millionaire money. It was a different level.
Right.
But like a Nissan one that does like that wins Le Mans, a little skinny looking one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, and that's a hybrid, correct? That's gas and electric or electric.
I think it's full electric.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? That real skinny, like
it's got like the little small wheels in the front. Yeah, and it's wider in the back. I want to say I think that one is a hybrid. Yeah,
hybrid. Yeah, so that stuff there, but that stuff gonna be there. But yeah, I took my mom. Your story, man, it was so funny because I took my mom for a ride, right, dude. My S13, dude, my S13, the shock towers from when I got it was already like this because it was rusted. It separated. So for me drifting, it just kept over the years. So one side was like this, and there was this uneven. So then I hammered it down and put like I took it to a shop. They welded the top. But they was like, dude, I'm not gonna even put my name on it and weld. Now I'm a business. I understand that. So he had to take this. He didn't. Sorry, he welded it, but he didn't want to take the coil out, the strut. So I had to take the strut out, bang it back down because it can't compress with the strut in there.
Right.
So I had to bang it back down, look at it, I put a strut tower on it, and put a leveler on the fucking a wood level on the thing, and I got the bubble in there. I'm like, all right, it's good.
Eyeballing it.
Yeah. So I got the bubble in there, not knowing that the level was going to be based on the actual your jack stand. So it wasn't really level because the car is like this already. So
so you were on equal ground. Yeah.
So I banged that shit back down. I went to Home Depot and got a sheet of metal. And then what I did is I all that 240 separate on the strut tower where it separates from the frame rail.
Yeah.
So I stuck the sheet down there and then I bent it in between so there's like a force fit. And then I didn't have a welder, so then I drilled it, and then I put bolts all the way around. So that's how I held it down, man. And I drifted. I got pictures of it. I drifted on it, But anyway, my mom was in there, man. The suspension is all over the place. It's like every corner is doing something different. Each wheel is going a different way. It's like, and also I had I had 2 leaking O-ring injectors. So I was just like in there driving, smiling, getting high on the fumes. So
Right.
for me, it's
You're like, what the hell?
So every time you drive the car, your mouth just tastes like fuel. Like
Right.
it's
And
just
your
like
clothes smell like
yeah.
fuel. All your clothes smell like fuel. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have her on a podcast when she comes in, man. She got in the car and she's like, Donnie, what's that smell? Like I'm like,
That's turbo, Mom.
I'm like, dude. I'm like, man, it's all good. It's all good. I drive this car every day, dude. I drove her around a block. she got lightheaded, dude. She got dizzy. And then she's like, no, I gotta get out of here. She's
Right.
just fucking,
She was not impressed.
nah, dude. She's like, oh no, I can't.
Yeah, man. It's so
Dude,
funny. Like when you
dude.
get somebody that knows nothing about cars, they give you
Yeah.
such honesty.
Yeah,
Such
I mean,
honesty.
dude. I mean, now knowing what I know now, I'm like, dude, I can't believe because it's your first car, man. It's like that joy
Yeah,
of you get your license and you get your registration, insurance, and it's that freedom, man. I went to Atlanta. I didn't go to Atlanta. I went to we would always go to New York, Jersey, and Pennsylvania because it's right there. But
Right.
I mean, but just having that freedom, dude, to like go, you got your own fuel,
Oh,
paying,
yeah, that's
and it's all your own
everything,
stuff.
man.
Everything is yours, man. So I was just happy to have a car, man, and so every little fault, is whatever, man. It's for us, but for people who don't know, like, duh, man, they used to drive in their Daewoo or their Kia or whatever the hell they driving in the hood, that they think is hood rich. And like, she got in the car, man, got all dizzy, like, yeah, never got my car again. And it was only like, she was like, nah, I can't do this. So now she'll probably come in, yeah, she'll come here now and see what I've got now. You know, everything. I got the sound deadener in there, full interior, all the fumes and all the gases are in the engine bay, not inside the cabin. And I was just like, I was wondering why I was getting, I would drive to work and I would get tired. I'm like, oh, now I know, because I had a fucking exhaust leak in the carbon. The carbon monoxide. Yeah, dude. So I'm driving down the highway like, dude, I feel tired, man. Like, and it's because so it's like, they don't. That stuff right there builds character, man. And like now we really appreciate what we do have and all the nice stuff. And yeah, man, that was hilarious, dude. Yeah, man. So that the parents, man, when you say that, dude, I just was like, hey, I know exactly. Like, get that shit out of here, man. Cover that shit up. Like they treat that shit like the coronavirus or something, man.
They treat it like put that body up.
Yeah.
Bury you.
Yeah, man. So but yeah, man, it's we got the time. It's about 10 here. So, I mean, what, like, any other thing, like, far as the like, again, we kind of got on the, actually, that's what I'll wrap up on a little bit. You mentioned like you were gonna come here this year, but then you changed and everything. So what, I mean, if you want to discuss that part, what was it for the business? Why did you decide to delay that to next year and things like that, to give the guys out there insight of how we think and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I visited Japan with my wife back in 2017, but since that time, we have a daughter now. She's a year and a half. So we wanted to be able to travel, and when we go to Japan, we don't just go to Tokyo or Misawa. Right. We go all over, man. We try to see as much as we can while still not being exhausted from the travel. So we wanted to have the kid at a good age where we don't have to really carry or stroll around 100% of the time.
Right.
But also because of a business schedule, man, I've got 2 different customers that's in the Bay right now that I'm taking care of, wrapping up. I've also got, we had a very heavy travel schedule far as our Bridgemoto. Like I said, we do a lot of events. That's kind of getting altered a little bit because of what's going on with this Corona stuff. But all in all, we wanted to have a stronger trip going there without having to worry about all the BS far as the stroller and the baby seat and all this stuff. So it should be a lot bigger. And plus, we're gonna be doing some racing. So I want to get my Evo prepped a little bit more for the track, so they can have the fresh tires, fresh brakes, things of that nature.
I got. You don't need to worry about that, man. I got you covered, man. Because I took it to the reason why I took it and I surprised you with that video is I went because this is one of those things, and I know you experienced it before. And I'll stop talking in a second, man. But you'll have a car sitting there, and then like it'll just sit there with parts in it. Then you finally get to that car, like, man, none of this shit fits. Or you know what I mean? Like you got when you finally get to that project, like this don't fit. This ain't gonna work what I want to do. Now that I got a new turbo, so I wanted to get the car on the track and like because I mean I checked it, but looking at it and actually driving it, so like
it's a whole other thing. But
the car, man, like I say, from that MSP, man, tires and the I could just feel the clutch was I seen your videos, man, and your style of driving. I was like, man, he'll dust this clutch off. So we gotta get like a metallic clutch in there and everything. Just an OS single or whatever. I think it's upgraded already, but I don't know what it is. And it's like one of those things. When I buy a car personally, I want to see what it is.
That's right.
They torque the bolts down. I've seen cars reusing flywheel bolts. I don't want a flywheel coming off and cut my legs off inside the car. So I'm gonna go back in there and sweat it. So, but when you get here, man, that'll all be sorted. I got the brakes already. I got the tires. That's nothing. I got Federal, so I have the sticky tires in there, the wheels or whatever. So it'll be when you get here. I got the truck. And that truck, the green truck is 100% mine now. You know what I mean?
What's up.
Yeah, man. So that's again. That happened. Rahman blessed me with that and everything, and I'll have him on here, man. That dude's like,
he's solid, man.
Dude,
yeah, he's solid.
Bro, that dude like that. He's single-handedly put my business in a different category instantly, man. And and stuff, and that's why you guys, man, are instrumental to my growth and everything. But that's a whole different story. But anyway, I got the truck down. The car's solid when you get here, so the business will be, and it works out for me too because I am very busy. I was going to take all time anyway when you came here, but now like that's a whole nother year for me to level up.
Right.
And I could take a whole
too. Yeah,
when you get here. And when you get here, and then I'm definitely not gonna give you guys 2-3 hours, man. When you get here, I'm pretty much gonna be the whole time you guys here. When we go to the track or whatever, you guys got our time because I'm not gonna have you fly over here and give you 2 hours of time, man. That's just so. I'll be at that point. I'll be able to probably take a whole week off, and I will be able to do that, and we'll be able to comfortably not rush things and enjoy the family and go eat and enjoy things, man. So definitely looking forward to that. And my kids will be older.
That's right.
Your daughter and your daughter and one of my sons are the same, like almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's about to turn 2. She's what, 1? Or
she's 1.5. She's going to turn 2 in August. So
she's still close. Yeah, still close to my second kid and everything. So and then she'll see the baby there and everything, and it'll be crazy and everything. So she'll be 1. She'll be 1.5. She'll be where your daughter is right now. When you guys come here. Same. So she's already like pushing up and
they progress, man.
Like swat. Like I try to give her. She's already going like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this milk. I want to eat food or whatever. So she's looking at us eat food, and she want to eat like the same thing we eat, and she's just looking at it like I don't want the milk. Like So I had her chewing on the apple last night. She just like going at it, dude, for like an hour.
Yeah, man. It's amazing how fast kids progress. I had no idea that it was that quick. For the progression, man. Like I said, she's already walking, talking. She can already pick things out and name it, and she's already showing a lot of personality for sure. Yeah. So
somebody told me that the new kids are even faster than we were. It's like because now, like I'm pretty sure she's already doing like the phone thing too, right? Like the swiping stuff and. So
it does. Yeah, I try to limit it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it's unavoidable.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's unavoidable, and it's not a bad thing as far as technology. You got to embrace it, but it just needs a balance, just like everything else. But yeah, man, she's advanced with it. She know how to pick out a video that she want to watch, as far as the little kids channel thing. Mm-hmm. Smart, man, super smart. But
it's funny, man. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh, go ahead.
No, continue, man. What you about to say?
I was gonna snatch the wheel real quick, man, and I know you've been talking about doing some of the grip and whatnot, so just want to get an idea, what your goals are for preparation this year and events and what you plan on doing next year, because I don't want it to be just about us being there. I want to be able to be hands on deck too if you got something cool going on in the same time frame that we are there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it's just the the S2000. I got that back from Rahman again, so that's gonna be my main time attack deal. By the time you get here, I'll have the arrow on it. I'll have the turbo kit back on it, which is a whole different design, And trying to, that Amuse S2000 is kind of like one of those things I wanted to target after. So that'll be my thing there. I'll talk to you offline about the car I just acquired because that's going to make one of my other cars really, really nice. And it's just it's a nice deal. And again, it's all progressive. Everything is going towards different. The whole drifting, people kind of associate my shop with that. And I want to, hey man, like I do drift cars and build drift cars, but that's not only what I do, man. So the purchases and things like that is going to. It's not empty. It's not like I'm just buying stuff for shits and giggles. That's going to promote my business. What I need to do is get into Option Magazine because Doherty 10 is cool, but it's not really. Hey, 1 second, man. 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can talk, man.
Yeah, so back on the video game stuff. Obviously, you guys probably noticed behind me the Wangan Midnight and Initial D. Volume 2. I'm a big video game person far in the aspect of arcade games. I do love consoles too, like PS4, Xbox. I'm not as big as in like the PC based stuff, but I do play Assetto Corsa like Xbox One, things of that nature. But some of the cool things you can find that we do through Bridgemoto is we host Initial D tournaments actually here in the States. So this shirt that I'm wearing here is from our 2020 Initial D contest that we had. I kind of pulled myself out of it because I have a lot more seat time than most of the guys. But the cool thing is this shirt is available at bridgemoto.com under apparel, and we are going to be hosting some more tournaments. So if you are big in Initial D and you have a version 8, version 7, whatever the system is, and if you got more than like 12 guys that want to play, one of the things that I'm trying to do is set up some regional tournaments, and then we're going to have one big master tournament to get everybody in and have a championship series. So if you have that, if you got a good group of guys, send me an email at alan@tougetechniques.com. That's alan@tougetechniques.com. We can plug together. I can even work with you on the regional stuff, and then we can all put it back together and make a series championship. Basically, what I'm talking about, Donald, is the Initial D tournaments that I host.
Yeah.
I hosted one about a month and a half ago with success, and what I'm trying to do is make regional ones. I don't care if it's in Japan, U.S., whatever. I can facilitate that without being there, and then what I want to do is build a network of guys. Let's just say that they're all across the U.S. We have one big tournament, and you pay in and kind of fly in, and we have a master tournament, and then that has cash payouts, gifts, that kind of stuff. Make it fun. Because most of the guys that are into it are into driving too, so that we can go do some Touge driving, some track driving, whatever. But I want to make it cool, a little side thing. I don't make money off of it or anything really, but it's just a passion.
Yeah. That's what I try. Sorry about that. But, like for the guys there, like I was like, this guy's rude and he's leaving. Like I don't understand, man. Like I got a delivery, and actually, what you're talking about, those are. I went on Amazon. I got I found my old G27 and 25 wheels, like 3 of them, but I didn't have the power adapter, so that was Amazon. Had just delivered like 3 new adapters for like $30. Wow. So it's like you can get this stuff. So I got a few more play seats on the way. I'm going to get back in a settle, not get back into it, get into it, because I had a little grudge against Assetto Corsa because they ripped MSP when from R Factor, and I went over that a few times, and it's whatever, man. I'm not, the owner of the track don't care about it, so why should I care about it? You know what I'm saying? I felt like I put it out there. I know I did, and it's one of those things where it's definitely documented and people see it or whatever, and they know it's valid, but I hit those guys up, and I was like, hey, man, let me advise on your track because it's not accurate. And if you want to get it accurate, I got the owner in my phone. I can link all this up.
They were afraid to open that line of contact because
they probably thought I wanted money. Yeah.
Yeah, but you just wanted, honestly, you just deserve credit, and the track deserves credit for that layout. I played that layout several times, and then when you said it, and then I drove it in real life, remember in 17, I was like, oh shit, this is the same track in reverse. It's literally the same track in reverse.
So what they did was because what happened was right after my guy made it on R Factor, the video starts circulating. Like, dude, there's like, how do you pick of all the tracks in Japan? You just MSP, and it's the furthest away from the action. It's up here in Amori.
You put it on the map for videographer, exactly. Bro. That's a fact. I mean, just Google it. Just YouTube. It's a fact.
Yeah. The bulk of the videos are mine. So like, the fact, this is my thing, man. It's one of those things, man, where in this industry, man, we're in, man. It's in for example, I had the host kit I just put out. It's man, it's going to be people copying it, and stuff like that. I put the time in. I sent the guy, like, what I didn't do is I didn't actually go to Nissan because the hoses weren't available. I actually made my own, like, molds and stuff like that. Sent it to the guy because I actually made it. I put some changes in it because where Nissan took a little kink and bend here, I wanted the bend to be a little bit more outside because it gives more clearance on the differential and it gives for maintenance. So I put a note in there to make this a little bit different. So those are actually my own designs. They're not just they're not just hoses from another company, because you see that where the company will take a set of hoses and then remake them, and then like they're fatter or they're thinner, or the ones I got, they're exactly form fitting, the exact size that it needs to be to fit in, like the little hook that hangs down and holds the hose there. It fits in there like the factory. Not it's so fat that you got to bend the hook and make it fit in there. You've seen those silicone hose kits in the game and everything. And the eBay ones, they're just really fat. And they look strong, but they're just like they're regular silicone. There's no lining in it. There's no reinforcement. They're like they got a burst pressure like 30 psi. So it's like
that's like with my Copler here. I had all these designed from scratch. To fit my specific application that I work on.
Hey, one sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
My meeting's a little bit early, so I got to go get them.
Yeah, go ahead. So, like DJ was talking about, when you do a custom piece like this Copler here, this great. Not only the color is one off that we blended like 10 times to get the color exactly how I wanted to match my Touge Techniques green, but also the sizing and whatnot is exact to the piping that I use in shop. So like where you normally have a 2.75 or a 3-inch, I'll use like 85 millimeter, 70 millimeter, because that's the type of piping that I get that I find that actually turns a little better, fits in the engine bay a little better hood clearance. And it's little things like that, just like he's talking about with the Atessa hoses, that makes a big difference with them routing it a little bit more around a differential, or making it hook a little better, not pinching. Those little things make a big difference. So when you're out there spending your dollars, don't think that every product's designed the same just because it's the same color or written up as the same spec. There's a lot of different timing and consideration put into independent shop products that we put out that you're going to get a little better product with. And but yeah, man, check out techniques.com. These couplers are on there. I also make my own AN fittings. Those are in green and gold, but you can also get them in black. So I do -4, -6, 8, and 10 AN fittings. And I also can do custom lines. So if you need it 8 inches long or 20 inches long, I can design that for you, no problem. TougeTechniques.com.
Yeah. Hey, man. Thanks again, man, for holding it down, man. Like I say, hey, guys out there, like,
this ain't
probably like,
let's go.
Man, you're inconsiderate. Like the guy, he was he was about 30 minutes early, so I was expecting him at 11:45. So he's all cool. He's down there right now. So I'm gonna pretty much wrap this up, man. But man, we will talk again. For the guys out there, I'm out of breath. Do you run around the parking lot? For the guys out there who are gonna be on the podcast, like. This is normally my podcasts are done like on a weekday or whatever. This kind of was one of those weekends where the work kind of bled into the weekend. Normally it's all locked down, but my bad for the future, man. That won't happen, man. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. No apology necessary.
Yeah,
we run a business, man.
Yeah, and that's like you say you say you're closed, but you're never really closed. It's just like the hours that you don't really interact with the customers and everything. So it's all good there. But yeah, man, like we'll definitely I'm gonna when I watch it back, I'll see what you were talking about and everything. So it's all good there, man. But again, man, we'll do this multiple times. when you get here for the spring, we'll have a lot of stuff to do, and of course, it's not gonna be the last thing. What I want to try to do, man, is get like at least like once or twice a month with you, man, to see what's catching up with the Bridgemoto, because what I want to do is push out like your stuff there, and that's what a lot of people with this podcast stuff, man. I'm really seeking to push my inner circle. And some people, man, I email them or whatever. Like when I hit you up, it was like, hey, man, it was 48 hours since we talked and bam, you're here. Some people, I'm like, dude, you're running a business. This is a platform to get your business out there, and they don't want to do it, or they think it's a waste of time. And I'm not. And the thing is, I asked one time, and that's it, man. I'm not gonna chase you down and give you an opportunity to promote your stuff.
That's it, man. You're doing us a service by letting us promote our products on your platform. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if that value's not seen by them, then they ain't worth the time anyway.
Yeah. So at my last 140 episode 43, where I was pretty by myself, and I don't know if you watched that one or listened. I was pretty fired up, man.
Yeah, so you put some heat with it.
Yeah, it was. So and I dropped them, and maybe it'll get somebody else share it to them. I'm not gonna say, hey man, check. That'll be dumb of me like to call somebody out, or so to speak, and then like say, hey man, check this out. I called you out. You know what I mean? So
no, but at the same time, man, that's the type of passion, that's the type of person that I want to affiliate with, because at the end of the day, people that don't stand up for anything will fall, for anything. Right. So
yeah, so it's all good.
They'll get the message. They'll get it.
Yeah, and it's and people think about it. The reason why I know it'll be good, because they know that what I said on that camera, I'll say it directly to their face. And that's the difference between myself and a lot of other guys. Like, it's not going to be, I'm not trying to create any animosity, but it's like you're just going to know when you're dealing with me how you deal direct.
Where you stand.
Yeah, and it's just better to be that way. That way there's no, what is he saying or what is he meaning? Like, I'm meaning and saying exactly what I'm saying and meaning. So there's no, it's better for you, man. It works that way. And it's just, the guys come here and I'm like, dude, this is crystal clear how everything works, how everything's going to be and stuff like that. So again, I know you run it the same way, man. I'm like I said, these guys are a little bit early, but I'm gonna get those guys out of here. So, and deal with those guys. So that way I'll take care of the business there. And then that way, again, when you get here next year, and what time frame next year, 2021, by springtime or?
I'm thinking spring's going to be good for us. Don't you?
Yeah.
It's working with you too. It's warm, and they're gonna have a lot of test and tune stuff too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So tracks are starting to get open. Yeah. So I'm thinking like end of March, beginning of April kind of thing. End of March probably.
Just give me. I mean, of course, I don't know. We'll be in contact. We'll probably do like another 8 podcasts before then or more. So we'll talk, keep everything linked up and everything. And then for that point, again, the events I can get those on lock and stuff. And actually, it's better that you did go to next year, because imagine if you came now with all this stuff going on.
Yeah, all this fucking chaos, man.
Yeah, all this stuff
going on. It would have been a problem, actually. So it actually was a great decision, because just think about like my dog and stuff. A lot of the kennel places shut down, like they're not taking any animals. My dog would have been stuck there. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of stuff, man. Like coming back to no groceries, coming back to no amenities. That would have been chaotic. So.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's bad times. But again, man, we're making the most of it. Our business is still going. We can't, everybody's trying to get out of work and slack. Like, hey, man, we ain't got that option, man. Like, that's why, again, Saturday, I don't do my regular, my hours are Monday to Friday, but Saturday, I'm still working and things like that, because, we're a singular shop, single owners and things like that. We can't take off. So everybody out there that's slacking off and hanging out, man, it's great to be there. But at the same time, you won't be able to do what me and Alan are doing, which is like, doing what we want to do. And the thing about it, man, this is a message to you guys looking at the camera, man. When you're building your stuff up, you gotta be able to sacrifice, 5-6 years, because again, one of my buddies told me, we're doing what we don't want, what most people don't want to do today. I'm messing this up so we can do what you can't do tomorrow. And that's pretty much what we're lining things up so we can do what we want to do, embrace the struggle and the grind, but we'll be able to pull away and do what we have to do and make sure things are good to go. Family is good to go. Business is good to go. Then I can go to Estonia. I can go to Nürburgring. We can link up there, get cars over there. Things that people want to do, and take it away from Gran Turismo and Forza. We can do this, document it, and then get views off of it, man. So it's a lot more stuff to come. And again, I'm going to get to this customer downstairs. Take care of that, man. But again, brother, thanks again. I'll put your links down there. Send me the pictures for that 240, man, so I can see it.
Definitely.
and put those in there, and go to the store. And I'm gonna clip that out and put that into the preview
And
as far
I
as
know
the
we
pod-
talked. I
yeah,
know we
go ahead.
talked about the RX3. I'm gonna send you a
Yeah.
clip for the RX3 too.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got that, and I'll put that in the intro and outro video and stuff so you
Bet.
can see that stuff. So, but hey, man, hey, brother, thanks for stopping in, taking time out of your nighttime. There, it's 11:20 a.m. here, and it's like what time is it there?
It is 22:20.
Yeah, so yeah, for the guys in the military, it's like 10 something stuff like that. So, but yeah, man, it's thanks again for taking out time out your business, family, and things like that, man. Get back to them. We'll link up again, man. We'll talk offline about the other stuff I got, and then eventually you guys will see it. But everything can't be put out there. You got to safeguard some stuff like the cappuccino 1J thing. I put that out there strategically, but I should have just kind of kept that under the wraps. But it is what it is. People, it's out there.
That's it. Word of the day. Word of the day is Touge Haimitsu, which is Japanese for Touge Secrets.
Yeah. All right, hey man, thanks again, brother, for stopping in, guys. It's gonna be Donald signing off for Pinku Style Massage Japan, Alan, and I keep saying Georgia, but it's Georgia or what location you're in again?
Talking Rock. So rock
Talking
that
Rock.
talks, baby. Indian
Talking
preservation, baby. We're coming back.
All right, Talking Rock, Georgia, man. So again, see you guys later. Be safe out there, and don't get sick and stuff like that. So see you guys later. Donald signing off with Pinku Style. Peace.